Honeybuntv.
You making me wanna spend this money, gorgeous, all on you, girl.
Honey buns, and what is up? Today we are going to be transforming some joggers that are clearly too doggone small for me into a nice dress. Everything you will need is going to be in the description box below, so let's get started. First things first, we are going to measure down how long we want it. My measurement for this was 16.5 inches, and I added a 1/2 inch on for seam allowance. So right here, as you can see, I'm taking my measuring tape and placing it on my waist down and cutting it where I said I was going to stop, which is 16.5 inches. Now you are going to see that we're going to have the leg portions at the bottom left. Keep your scraps at all times, okay? Because these legs right here are going to be used for a top, and to get that top portion, all we're just going to do is cut the little anklet part that we have off, and you could even cut that elastic out and keep that elastic for something else, okay? And then you are going to open the legs up by cutting where that seam is. Now after you finish cutting where that seam is, you are going to place these face to face, right sides up on each other and sew them down. But because these joggers were so tight on me, all you see me here doing is, this is approximately 3 inches of width. I'm going to insert these at the sides of my skirt to make it a little bit more open so it can get up above my gluteus maximus, okay? And how I'm gonna do that is literally by cutting the sides of the skirts just like I cut the sides of the legs. So once that is fully cut, I'm going to take the 2 pieces where I said the 3 inches width, and I'm going to sew them on one by one. As you can see, it's 2 pieces, so it's 2 sides. So we are going to do right sides facing up for the top portion, and you're just going to put it on the edge just like you see me here doing, and you're going to sew it down. And remember, I said right sides up. So as you can see here, so now you're going to place the other side to it on the other edge, and you're going to sew it down, and you're going to repeat this for the other side. Once you are done, this is what it should look like. And I made a little mistake, I didn't get everything, so I'm just gonna go over it. We'll re-go over it sewing, and that's okay, that's fine and dandy, and open it up. And now it should be a little bit more easier to get up above my gluteus maximus, like I said. Now, as I stated before, we are going to take these pants legs and we are going to face them right sides towards each other and sew them down. But before we do that, we are just going to measure from our bust to our waist. And why I say from our bust to our waist, how long that is because where this skirt stops at, it stops at my waist. So you are going to see how long from your waist to, well, from your bust to your waist that is. And mine was, I believe, 10.5 inches, so that's why you saw me cut some extra. Now that I have sewn this these pieces together, I'm just gonna sew it waist to waist, and again, right sides facing up. And if you don't know what right sides are, it's basically the good sides, the outer sides. So once we have that, this portion we're going to next is kind of the freestyle portion. So it really is no right and or wrong way. So I'm just going to talk you through my process and what I'm doing. So like I said, and like I stated before, keep your scraps, okay? Because as you can see, what I'm using here is scraps, and I'm just cutting and playing around. Now for the back, you obviously see that there is no covering on the back. So as in my other videos, like when I made the bandana skirt and the bandana top, you're literally just going to get an extra piece of fabric that you have from that, again keeping your scraps, and you are going to sew it on just like how I did there. And I also listed the video in the description box so you can see what I'm talking about, because if you do not want to do this freestyle portion and or freestyle as you see me here doing, then all you have to do is hem the sides and put the straps on the back. Now me, for this portion, I'm gonna put straps on the back, but I decided to pleat the top just to give it a little bit of okay, just a little bit of. So here I am, typically, well, not typically, just literally pleating the top, folding it over nice and right, not too much, but you know, just enough. And now I'm just going to cut the edge. Now the reason I suggested the bandana video that you can look at with the skirt and or top is because the way that I'm doing this top is the same way that I did the waistband. And my scissors are a little bit dull. Y'all make sure y'all scissors are always sharp, okay? Because you don't want your hand going through the ring and the wire cutting. But anyways, as you can see here, what I'm doing now is I'm literally taking an extra piece of fabric and I'm just laying it over the pleats so they can look kind of seamless at top but pleated at the bottom. And once I take this off, I'll show you what I mean by that. But literally pleat through, put the piece over, and take your time. You ain't going nowhere right now. Take your time. And like I said, this is a freestyle portion, so it's no right or wrong way. So once, as you can see here, I sewed it on that seam line, I'm just going to flip that extra piece of fabric that I put on top, that line, and I'm just going to sew it right back down on that seam. Now after this, I'm just taking a couple of my scraps and I'm just playing around at this point because I'm like, what am I gonna do with the rest of this fabric? I can't think of anything right now. So I'm literally just sewing it on top. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because art is what you see through your own eyes and your own beauty and your own perception of it. Can't nobody tell you right or wrong. And all I'm doing here is pleating on the top because I made like a V cut. Don't know where that footage went. I'm so sorry. I could make a separate video for you, but I decided to do some more pleats sticking up, which in the beginning, well, in the end, you will see the pleats sticking up. But baby, this is what it's supposed to look like. See y'all honey buns on Honeybuntv next week. Let me know what you want to see because I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna post it. Mwah.